Move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at Caneswear.com or InnerMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Like having the best guys on the field. And until we find out who that is, we got to keep trying whatever we need to get those guys on there. We're not there yet. You know, that's obvious.
Good morning. Hey.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Hold on. What's going on? There we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. Were you able to hear me for a couple moments there, at least? Were you able to hear me? Good afternoon. Hope you all are well out there. No wonder I'm looking at it going, damn, what the hell's going on? Look up and don't see anything, and now we're here. Anyway, hope you all are well out there. As we are ready. Yes, fantastic victory. Lisa's already in. Steve Chapman in. I see it. Appreciate all of you out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got a little Monday Night Football tonight. One of the undefeated teams that are left, along with your Miami Dolphins, are taking the field today. We'll talk a little bit about that stuff. Not a long program today. I did about a half hour today in the morning. I don't know if you guys caught it, but it's there on the platform. We talked a little bit about certain things from the Dolphins from yesterday, and we'll talk a little bit more. I've got more material here to talk about today on the Miami Dolphins and everything that went on yesterday. Obviously, what a great day yesterday. What an amazing win. Something that we all kind of needed, right? Because this is something that It's been stuck with us for a while now. And your favorite team, the Dolphins, for those of you that are Dolphins fans watching, it wasn't one of those teams that you can, be proud of all the time. And now, man, after this 3-0 start, it's been pretty fun, and looks like your team is for real. And that's cool. That's really cool because we're going to hear more and more people around the country, talk about the Dolphins. And we'll hear more and more people, get on the bandwagon and finally, believe that Tua is the guy and those kind of things. So it's pretty cool to see that happen. Let's see, what else do we have? News out of Dolphins camp. Tua is not in concussion protocol. All right. So that is cool. That's good news. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. There is an independent doctor that is doing this. So that person's reputation is on the line. And while it still looked like it was a head injury or whatever, who knows? Who really knows? Maybe there was something in his back that was making him, lock up or what. I have no idea. I really don't. So either the independent doctor did his job and everybody was telling the truth, or everybody will get in cahoots and they'll just say, yeah, no, everything's good. Because the NFLPA wants to investigate this. The NFL wants to look into this. So they want to make sure on all sides because everybody wants to protect themselves. This is kind of, in a way, it's what we talked about with Ime Udoko, whatever, the Celtics head coach. And right from the get-go, when it happened, you saw people are like poo-pooing in, like, oh, that's no big deal. And all. No, it is a big deal. If you work in the corporate world, it's a big deal. They don't want you to have relations. It's a problem for them. You know what I'm saying? And why? Because lawsuits can come from this. So there's a reason why they don't want. In fact, they usually, if they find out, they want one of you to quit. That's usually what happens in the corporate world. We're not talking about regular jobs that, maybe at whatever, Piggly Wiggly, just so I don't pick like a real store. Well, there might be some Piggly Wigglies other places, but not here at least. And whatever, if you work in a place like, maybe they don't care. But in a lot of corporate worlds, oh man, that's a problem. That's a problem. And why lawsuits? And why is this a problem? Lawsuits. Because sometimes you have to protect the player from the player itself, but it's your responsibility to be responsible. So the NFL wants to make sure that you're being responsible, because if not, then the player can come back at you. And then the NFLPA wants to find out if the player is being protected, because if not, then the NFLPA wants to go after the owners because of you're not taking care of the players, and this is in the collective bargaining agreement, yada, yada, yada. Big problems. They don't want that. They just don't. And so that's why this is going to be looked at from all angles. And in the end, I don't know if you and I will ever really know the truth. And maybe what McDaniel was saying, that, Tua was kind of frustrated, like, hey, guys, this is what's wrong with me. It's not the head. And the Dolphins maybe released also he's going to be checked, assuming, excuse me, because we were all assuming that he would be checked for head trauma, and that wasn't the case. See what I'm saying? So that's why this whole thing, they're going to look into it. They're going to look into it, and then they're going to, make a ruling on it, and then they'll move on. I just want to make sure that Tua plays on Thursday. All right? Because if anything you learned, well, I didn't learn a damn thing. But some of you out there, remember the Teddy Bridgewater people It's interesting, right? The Justin Herbert people, they are quiet. The Teddy Bridgewater people, they're quiet. Jimmy Garoppolo, they're quiet. I mean, that was probably only a couple of ants that actually said it. But it's just kind of interesting how everything's kind of quieted down. The loud, obnoxious people are already shut up. And it's good because now I get to be loud and obnoxious. So it's good. So from here on out, I'll be loud and obnoxious for those Justin Herbert people. By the way, Justin Herbert, who's 1-2. Just want to make sure, you Justin Herbert people, So Justin Herbert, he didn't really have to put up with a lot of the crap that Tua's had to put up with in 2 years. So now Rashawn Slater ruptured his bicep, his left tackle. But, you don't need a good line, right? Because you guys were, judging Tua without a line. You were judging Tua without an offensive coordinator, without a quarterback's coach, without an offensive line coach, without a running game, all that. So Justin Herbert, he's such a big badass that you guys have described. He's not going to need Rashawn Slater, is he? Do you think Justin Herbert has some issues right now? He's 1-2. He's not playing well. He's got fractured rib cartilage. His all-pro center's got a knee injury. His left tackle is out for the year with a torn bicep. His number one receiver has a strained hamstring. His top pass rusher has a groin injury. And the top cornerback not responding as expected from ankle surgery. So it looks like the Chargers have some issues, but they have Justin Herbert. And he has been known to bail out so many teams. And he's been known to be this great quarterback that really lifts entire franchises and college programs. So there you go. Okay. How about that? So we're going to find out how Justin Herbert's going to do from here on out. I mean, after all, these are just little speed bumps in the way for him. Okay? These are no excuses for him. Remember that. Okay? Don't come at me with any excuses now. Because since you're uneducated in assessing Tua and you wanted to judge Tua without a head coach that can build an offense, without offensive coaches, without an offensive line, and without a running game, since you want to judge Tua like that, this is how we're going to judge Justin Herbert. So I figure these issues, it's not a big deal. He's a great quarterback, right? Right? He's a great quarterback. Not a great talent. He's a great quarterback. So he should be able to elevate the team past all these issues. So we'll keep track of Justin Herbert's life from here on out. And we'll see how it works out. By the way, do you know who leads the NFL in QBR rating? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Tua Tagovailoa. Number one in your hearts, number one in the charts. That's right. Nobody is better than Tua Tagovailoa in QBR rating. Oh, and by the way, he has a monster lead in it. Seriously. He has an 82.8 QBR rating. You know who's second? Lamar Jackson at 78. Is that interesting or what? And you're going, well, that's 4 points. So, I mean, is that really like a big lead? Well, if you looked at all the QBR ratings, okay, Tua's at 82.8, then Jackson's at 78.4. And then Cooper Rush, 77.8. Josh Allen, 77.7. Pat Mahomes, 76.2. And then you have a little bit of a drop-off to Jalen Hurts at 74.8. Then another little drop-off at Trevor Lawrence is 71.8. And then a major drop-off from number 8 to number 9. You go from Jared Goff at 63. I'm sorry, from 7-8 at 63.7 at number 8 to Trevor Lawrence at 71.1. So Tua Tagovailoa has the number 1 QBR rating in the NFL. Not only that, folks, okay? Justin Herbert is 11th at 60.9. So 82.8 for Tua. That great quarterback, Justin Herbert, 60.9. That's about 21.5 point difference there. 82.8 to 60.9. Damn, folks. I got to tell you, Aaron Rodgers drops all the way to 48.9. That's what happens when all your receivers are dropping footballs. Tannehill's at 48.5, number 17. Number 17 is 17th overall. Brady's at 18th at 46.9. Burrow's at 46.3 at number 19. Mac Jones is 25th in the league at 35.9. And Jimmy Garoppolo is number 29 in QBR in the league at 28.9. How do you like them apples? Tua Tagovailoa, your number 1 QB in QBR rating, and leading quite a few people there, including, of course, the Justin Herbert lovers that are out there. This is just absolutely beautiful. I got to tell you, absolutely beautiful to watch that. 13 of 18 yesterday, 186 yards, a touchdown, and it was a 79 QBR to his 82.8. Still efficient as hell. And, of course, he was deadly. With the few times he had the ball, he was able to get it done. That was pretty good overall. That was just a lot of fun. It's great to watch him grow. To me, that's the really cool part, that we're watching this young man grow. Marcelo Cambises, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says, Big O, the best on the bus. I guess Kyle Brandt can kiss our right blowout, right? LOL. I didn't get. Did Kyle Brandt predict a Buffalo blowout? Is that what it was? You're losing me on that one. I don't know. I don't follow the show, so I'm not sure what he ended up predicting. I mean, Kyle Brandt was he's like a former comedian turned sports guy, right? That's kind of the way I think it is, right? I think that's the case, if I'm correct. By the way, do me a favor. Give me, please, 30 seconds.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
All right, Marcelo. So I'm not sure what he said. Let's see. There's I'm on our defense, but it's only a thing that's consistent. Big O, have you thought about adding the Bills OC reaction to the blind ass fan alert montage, or even the Bills fan knocking himself out trying to jump on a table? That's a good one. We can ask Sean to kind of add that. Yes, I like that. I like the blind ass fan alert, and then the guys diving over the wall and missing the table from what we showed yesterday. I think that was awesome. Louise Bateman says the sports talk show host this morning was talking very highly about Herbert putting him in the top 5. I'm with you, Big O. Tua, just imagine if Miami could actually run the ball. What sports talk show host are you talking about that they were talking highly about Herbert in the top 5? I got who was saying that? Who was talking about Herbert in the top 5? Because come on, please tell me who that is, because that's hilarious. You got to tell me who that is, Luis. I don't know who you were listening to, but whoever it is, I mean, that's funny. Tua's already the Tua train is already full and it's already left the station. Amen to that. Amen to that. Let me check here. I'm sorry. What do we got here? Samuel, thank you, sir, for the love on the Cash App. I appreciate you. Thank you. Very nice of you. Says, awesome, Big O. Congratulations to your Dolphins. Oh, I guess Samuel's not a Dolphins fan. Interesting. How about that? That's interesting. And of course, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. By the way, Edge Energy Drink, a proud sponsor of our program. We talk about Edge all the time. It is the finest energy drink on the planet, folks. When I tell you about Edge, I'm telling you about the finest energy drink because it's delicious, it's smooth, and it has zero aftertaste. And that's why you should order it. Go to myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com and check out the finest energy drink on the planet. You want one? There's one for you. Grab a can right there. Grab a can. Order at myedgedrink.com. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. It's a great elixir. Okay? Only has 78 calories. You're gonna use it like soda, pretty much. When you taste it, you're gonna go, wow, because you're kind of used to all energy drinks having, like an aftertaste. I know because I never drink energy drinks because of that. Edge doesn't have one. I can spin it on my finger right there. Right there. There you go. You can get it. And by the way, you can't get it in a store. You got to get it delivered right to your home. So you grab your phone, you go to myedgedrink.com, you order some, use our code Big O, get 10% off, and get it delivered right to your home. myedgedrink.com for the finest energy drink on the planet. All right. Big O, if Tua can't go this Thursday and Teddy starts and struggles, what are the chances that Skylar's Frankie, Tua's going to play, dude? Okay. And I got to tell you something, Frankie. If Tua doesn't play, can I be honest? Season's over. Season's over. Skylar Thompson is not ready to read NFL defenses and react and all that kind of stuff. Physically, he has talents, but he is not a fine-tuned quarterback. This goes back to our conversations with other players. Okay. It's not fair to even expect Skylar to do that. And Teddy, I mean, some of you out there, you actually thought that was like an option and that he would start over Tua or that he would take Tua. Just can you at least, those of you that thought that Teddy would take Tua's job, can you at least be a man or woman enough to say, now that I think about it, that was really stupid on my part. Would you at least be honest with that? At least. Because there's some of you out there, you're playing the Teddy card, right? But we don't track what you say. So we don't know who said it. See? That's the beauty of the ugly predictions. Most of us don't care. They don't track anything you're saying. So it's really hard unless you're really obnoxious and you do it every day. And then we kind of, you get kind of, hated on the chat board or something. But there were a bunch of you that were talking about Teddy being the starter. over Tua. And you just saw a little bit on Sunday, and that the fun. Look, you know what's the best part about the people that say that Teddy will end up starting over Tua? Those are lazy. Those are the laziest football fans in the world. Yeah, the people that said Teddy Bridgewater would start over Tua are the laziest football fans in the world. You know why? They really never watched Teddy Bridgewater play outside of Miami. They didn't watch him all the time with the Vikings. They didn't really watch him. They don't really know how, you know, mediocre to less than average he is. They just know he's a phenomenal young man. He's a local kid. So the local heartstrings pull, and they don't really watch the kid. So it's not really an educated opinion. It's a lazy opinion. It's a lazy opinion by using favoritism. That's all. But there were some of you. Much respect. There was a Bills fan that came at me yesterday, not like in a bad way, in a great way. He was like, "Can't say anything, man. No excuses. Everybody had injuries. We had injuries, but the Dolphins stopped the Bills right there inside the 5. They had every chance to win that game, and they couldn't finish it. No excuses." And he's right. They screwed up all kinds of ways and had opportunities to win. So that was. I'd like to see some of you Teddy Bridgewater lazy fans come out and say, oh, you're right. I am a lazy fan. I didn't really look at Teddy that much. I don't really know Teddy that well to say that. I just know him from here, reputation, and I didn't really believe in Tua, so I just threw it out there. Skyler would do better than Teddy. Facts. Maybe. I doubt it. I doubt it because Teddy at least has seen the defenses. And so he might have a better chance of, now he's not going to carve up any defense or anything, but he will, dink and dunk his way and try to, because he's a really smart guy. I'm telling you, dude, it's the good Lord. He just didn't give Teddy enough. That's all. It's like Ken Dorsey. It's like Steve Walsh. There's certain guys that have gotten to the league, but they just didn't have enough. You know what I'm saying? They were just falling short on the talent side. Louise says, just looked it up. It was ESPN Radio, 8 to 10 a.m. show. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, yeah, Louise, that really explains it all right there. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure that that's really good listening, to be quite honest. I like Max. I like him more for boxing. Jay Will says some really stupid and outrageous shit in basketball. So I really don't want to hear him talk football. And Keyshawn is, remember I just talked about a lazy, fan? Keyshawn is one of those lazy athletes. He doesn't watch it. And that's our problem. That's the problem in our business. We have too many people involved that really don't work at it. Chris Ike from Arizona. I want to blow a wall picture of Bill's OC coordinator. Make it last forever in my Keith Sweat voice. And he's talking about Ken Dorsey, the former Hurricane quarterback, who, of course, had an enlightening day. And one that I think we will all live and enjoy forever. For me, I thought Ken Dorsey was more pissed about the fact that Tua plays a lot better after concussed than he does. So for those of you that didn't see it, there's Ken Dorsey. Okay. Look at the guy. Look at the coach right at the end now. He glances over like, The guy in the far, the bald guy. See, looks his glance is awesome. Like, well, okay, okay, okay. Ah. Oh, this is awesome. And I got to tell you something. I don't feel sorry for Ken Dorsey because, bro, you chose to be with the Bills, so screw you, bro. Have some tums. I don't care. You're no longer playing for the U, dude. You are coaching the Bills. I want you to, you know, I want you to have an upset stomach from now to your flight all the way back to Buffalo. Okay? I'm sorry. I have zero sympathy for Ken Dorsey. He looks like he freaking kicked his dog when he got home. And if he did, I'm gonna go kick him. Let's see. Earl Morrall was the MVP in '68 before he became a Dolphin. A lot different than asking a kid who has only played a preseason game. Yeah, no, of course. Earl Morrall was a stud quarterback. He wasn't just a backup. Yeah, that's a completely different ballgame. True Fin fan, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says 90 plays, 70 points, 17 points. We beat them. Yes, there's no doubt. It's the same thing as people bragging about the Canes moving the ball in Texas A&M. It doesn't mean shit. It's the same exact thing. People tell me, well, no, they played well against Texas A&M. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They made all kinds of stupid mistakes, and their offense couldn't score and couldn't finish. So, no, you didn't play well. Sorry. And that's loser talk, you know? And the same thing, the Bills have nothing to complain about. They move the ball like crazy. They couldn't finish. The Dolphins would find ways to make plays one way or another. Freaking amazing. You got to give them mad props. Leon Fresco, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. He says unsung MVPs, Morstead, Ingram, and Little. You could go all over the place. Brandon Jones, X-Men towards the end made a major stop. Crossing with that strip in the end zone where he pretty much was burned, but he didn't give up on the play and he would strip the guy and not be able to keep it. I thought that was freaking impressive on his part. There are so many heroes in that game. That's the beauty of that game. That's what was awesome about that game yesterday. It's not just the defense, it's people all over that defense, on offense, on special teams. There's so many people that made key plays that it could have changed completely the outcome of the game. And listen, you guys know I'm not breaking any news here. A bunch of times they tell you a couple of plays will change the face of a football game. And they're right. They're 100% right about that. And if you go back to that game yesterday, there are several plays that could have gone and it would have changed the face of that game. If the ball bounces one way or another, or if somebody does make a play or doesn't make a play, if Miami hangs on to an interception, that could have changed it right away. If Buffalo hangs on to an interception, it also could have made things very difficult. That's just the way it is. But in the end, when that clock ticks 0, it's who made the most plays. You can brag about stats, and you can brag about moving the ball or all that kind of stuff. In the end, what did you score? Did you score more than the other team? Did you make more plays than the other team? Did you stop the other team from making plays against you and scoring points? That's what it's all about. And I go back to the whole Justin Herbert crap and all the people that got on the Justin Herbert bandwagon. You're bragging about stats. Talk to me about what he does as a winner. And That part of your argument is gone. Thank you, Leon. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it as always. Chad McKay says, "Well, let's see. Craycraft got activated off the practice squad, so shut the hell up and stop making excuses, Bills fans. Just admit it. You lost and take the L." Drops Mike. I agree. Miles Deep says, "Big O, did you hear that McDaniel said that he's on for Tua to play Thursday? Brendan Deeg reported. Is he I don't know who that is. I have no idea. I saw the McDaniel press conference. He'll play. I'm not. I think he'll be fine. Unless somehow or another they put him through some kind of concussion protocol that he's not. He's in concussion protocol. In other words, they put him through some tests and he fails. That's the only way I see it. But outside of that, he's a tough son of a bitch. He's going to play. He wants to play. Bet your ass that he'll be there. Dorsey was upset about the Canes' loss on Saturday. That was disgusting. By the way, for the Canes' loss on Saturday, they said they weren't ready for the game. Is that what I saw? I saw where one of the players said that they felt they they kind of thought that they were going to win that game and that it was going to be an easy game, and so they came. Let me tell you something about the Canes players. They're full of shit. Am I clear enough on this? Any Canes player that tells you they underestimated Middle Tennessee State, they're full of shit. They're full of shit, just like the Herbert followers, just like the people that wanted to start Teddy Bridgewater over Tua. Where are they? Where are those cowards? That's what these kids are. Cowards. Any Canes player that says they underestimated Middle Tennessee State, they're cowards and they're liars. They're lying to everybody, they're lying to themselves, and they're cowards. Because just like the Herbert losers out there, just like the Teddy Bridgewater losers out there, just like any other quarterback you wanted to replace Tua with, where are you now? And where are those Canes players? Why aren't they being men and just say, we got our asses kicked? We're not good enough. You know why I have to say it that way? Because, man, you're mighty stupid if you think you can underestimate anybody. Let me explain that to every Canes player that's in that locker room. You're stupid. You're incredibly stupid if you think you can overlook anybody, not even a high school. Let me explain something to you. The Canes football program is a joke. It's been a joke for 20 years. That's why Mario Cristobal was brought here. This is why they're spending money, because they are a joke. And the players that play for it also are a joke. So since you're a joke of a program, you're a joke as players because you don't accomplish anything. Just check the resume. And you're not here to take Ray Lewis's resume. You're not here to take Jerome Brown's resume. You're not here to take Ken Dorsey's resume. Okay? What happened 20, 25, 35 years ago, 40 years ago in a UM uniform, you have no entitlement to it whatsoever. So I'm not exactly sure what Mario Cristobal is teaching over there, but apparently it's not honesty. Right? Because please don't tell me that DJ Ivy is this great practice player when he plays like dog shit live. By the way, Ruiz, you're going to ask for your money back? What are you paying that kid, $90,000? That's the worst money spent there. That's like paying Whiteside all that money. I mean, it's the biggest joke in the world that any player is going to sell to me that you overlooked somebody, because if you did, man, you're not very smart. You're a pretty stupid person. Do I need to spell stupid for anybody at the University of Miami? Do I need to spell stupid for the players in the locker room? Hey, listen, I'm in my 50s. I wasn't born yesterday. You didn't overlook anybody. You got your asses handed to you. You got embarrassed. And you know what happened in that game? You punked out. Not only are you guys cowards because you can't even look in the mirror and talk to the media and tell the fans, no, we screwed up. We played terrible. You make excuses that you let up when you got your asses kicked. And then the worst part is, just look at the game. You're a bunch of quitters. Cowards, quitters, and liars. That's what I see inside the University of Miami locker room. Cowards, quitters, and liars. Mario, you got a lot of house cleaning to do, bro. You got a ton of meow de gato inside that locker room. Time to get young men, not a bunch of boys and punks. That's what it sounds like. That's inside that locker room. There is a malaise. There is a cancer. There is a fungus among us. You didn't overlook anybody because you're mighty stupid if you did. Who the hell are you? You lose to FIU. You struggle against Central Michigan State Eastern University. You struggle against Toy Tech College. So no University of Miami football player is entitled to say they overlook anybody. You're not good enough to overlook anybody. And if you didn't know that, then you're too stupid to be on the football team. Let's understand that. Okay? Because you're not very bright if you're overlooking anybody wearing a University of Miami football jersey. Stop insulting everybody's intelligence. Well, some of us. Because if you believe any of that shit, my God, enough already. Oh, and by the way, Mario, I'm a big Cristobal fan. I'm rooting for your ass, but you're screwing it up. You're screwing it up. You're screwing it up majorly. It's a bad look so far the last couple months. Don't tell me you fix things when what you see on the field. Don't tell me how great of a practice player somebody is, and then he can't play DJ Ivy on the field. Why is DJ Ivy even starting? That's irresponsible on the coach's part, because obviously there's no way that guy can be that good. And if he's that good in practice, then that means your offense is that bad. Something's going on. And fix it, fix it, because in another year or two, brother, they're going to be screaming for your job. And I would imagine the administration is going to go, hey, Mario, we're spending a lot of money here. Results. I mean, you spend over $1 million. What is it? 1.3, 1.5 million or something like that. So they could come kick your ass. I mean, it's a joke, dude. You're going to tell me that you overlooked somebody? You got some balls, dude. You got some balls. Alabama can overlook some crap team. Georgia can overlook some crap team. Who the hell are you at the University of Miami? That's the problem now. You got all these kids that walk into the University of Miami that haven't accomplished anything. This has been going on for 20 years. You got these idiot kids that have done nothing, and they're riding the coattails of Michael Irvin and Andre Johnson. It's hilarious. Can somebody can the coaching staff tell everybody in that locker room, like, hey guys, you are nothing. Nothing. You guys have accomplished nothing. You can't overlook overlook a high school. You can't overlook a JV team. You're not allowed. And I get it. They're kind of sensitive in today's world, the kiddies. Some of them can't handle the truth. So I don't want to hear any more stupidity out of the University of Miami players. Somebody tell them they don't have the right to overlook anybody. Please. Nature B is for me, by the way, 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals and powerful antioxidants. And I've been telling you about Nature B for 20 years now, folks. Let me tell you something. You buy 2 months now, you will get the third month for free and free shipping. Are you listening to me? Use our code BIG O. Go to natureb.com. Have fuller hair, stronger nails, great for the digestion, even for the creaky bones. Listen, when I tell you about energy, you get energy all day long. My favorite thing that I love about it is boosting my immune system. I rarely ever get a cold, and even if I get a cold, it doesn't stay with me. It gets out of my system even quick, man. I love that too about Nature B. Those 2 golden capsules every day, and plant pollen, all natural from clean green New Zealand, straight from Mother Nature, not made in a lab. So it's great for the kids. It's great for the adults. I tell you this all the time. It's potentiated. So which means when you take it, it's already unlocked. That's what they do. They unlock all of that. So that way when it gets into your body, you absorb it quickly and it gets into your system quickly, protecting you and helping you. Go to natureb.com and use our code BIG O and get 1 month for free and free shipping. You buy 2 months, you'll get the third month for free and free shipping. Use the code BIG O. Natureb.com. Frankie Fresco, thank you, my brother, for the love on the super chat. Mike was wrong about coaches, had a lot of blame. Well, I mean, that's the beauty of sports. That's what I love about it. Mike had one way of looking at it. I had another way of looking at it. And he wanted to blame it all on the players, pretty much 95% of it. Not me. When you're that unprepared, I got to give it to the coaches. And when players are coming out, oh, we weren't prepared. Oh my God, that's the biggest indictment on a coach. That means you're not good as a coach at identifying if your team is prepared. I mean, what happened? Did Mario it's weren't the rankings for the last 4 or 5 years for the University of Miami? Do me a favor, Chad. I don't know if you're watching there, Chad. What are the rankings for the University of Miami recruiting over the last 5 years before this year? From 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017. If you're watching there, Chad, give me the rankings for the University of Miami. Because I thought they were all inside the top 20 during that time. And if they are, how can these players be that bad? How can they be this undisciplined? How can they be this naive? How can they be this misinformed? How can they be this lazy? How can they be this stupid? Because you got to be stupid to overlook anybody when you're the University of Miami. Not in 1995, not in 2001, not in 89. I can see you overlooking a lesser team because you'll beat them by 50 without even trying with your backups. But a University of Miami football player the last 20 years overlooking anything? I wasn't born yesterday. Riri, she's in. Did you guys hear about that? So Rihanna will host the Super Bowl halftime show. Interesting. Now, she turned it down back in 2019 because of the whole Kaepernick mess. She said she didn't want to be a sellout. So I ask you this because I kind of find it funny here. What changed since 2019 to now? Did Kaepernick ever play? No. I'm sorry, I must have missed it. What changed there, Rihanna? I don't know. You tell me. Hey, listen, far be it from me to even defend the Kaepernick situation. If you followed this show, you know me. I don't believe in anything Kaepernick. Okay, I think he's the biggest phony there is in the world. I think he's got the biggest scam going on there is out there. Okay, and God bless him. He's pulled off one hell of a scam because that guy never really wanted to be a quarterback again. He just wants to, collect from Nike and be the poster child for the movement. I mean, the phoniness with that guy is at extraordinary levels. But I found it funny in the article, like, well, she was like, no, I couldn't, be a sellout and all this that. And I'm thinking, if you didn't do it in 2019, the same things are there. And Cap never got a shot because what the hell? Why should he? Doesn't really matter. Guy's been out of football for years. He's not really committed to it. Anybody that's really committed to their craft works at it every day. Anybody that's really committed to their craft does anything and everything to do it. But I just found it funny that, like, 2019 and now, not a damn thing changed. So why would you why wouldn't you pass it up again? It's all right. And listen, I'm not complaining. I like Rihanna. Easy on the eyes. It's gonna be great to see her. So I got no problem with that. Talented, beautiful. I'm good. She can sing. I like her music actually. Pretty cool. What else do we have to talk about on the program? Mac Jones. So his team is 1-2. He suffered what is called a pretty severe high ankle sprain. But hey, listen, Belichick is ready. He's got Brian Hoyer and Bailey Zappi. You know what I'm saying? So he'll be ready. Mac Jones is a stud. What do you got for me there, Chad?
All right. Oh, so I have overall ranking from last year. It's showing was 10.
No, not last year. The year before. The next 5 years before that.
So we'll do okay. So we get 2020.
Right.
Let me see if it'll switch up on here. I found a way. So 2020 was 11. We were ranked 11. 2019 we were ranked 17.
Right.
And then 2018 we were 8.
Right.
And then 2017 we were wants to load. We were 12.
All right, that's good enough there because that's the last 5 years there with excluding last year. So thank you, Chad, by the way, exceptional. So you were top 17. So let me ask you something. How bad are the rankings? How off are the rankings or how off is the coaching? Somebody explain that one to me? How can you be this bad? How can your players be this undisciplined? How can they be this naive? So 11, 17, 8, and 12. That's not terrible. That's pretty good. It's not great because obviously great puts you with the great schools and they're not that. But shouldn't that keep you, like top 20? If you're top 20 in recruiting, Shouldn't you be top 20 constantly? Shouldn't you be better than the Middle Tennessee States? Shouldn't you not struggle badly to beat Southern Miss? I mean, FAMU, was it FAMU or whatever, the first game, they were moving the ball at times. I mean, this is pathetic. So you're telling me the 11, 17, 8, and 12 ranked recruiting classes, players that are on your roster now that are part of these recruiting classes, and you can't get better play out of it? You can't get disciplined play out of it? You struggle to beat Southern Miss and you get throttled by Middle Tennessee? I mean, you got dominated by Middle Tennessee. You got thoroughly embarrassed and physically manhandled by Middle Tennessee. I'm just saying, dude. That's not terrible talent. But the results have been terrible. 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, that's 855-912-1056. Red Recover, by the way, we talk about Red Recover all the time. Red light therapy for pain, whether it's tennis elbow, you got some elbow pain, knee, hips, shoulders, back, neck, ankles. They've got wraps for dogs, okay, and it's great for the kids. It's all natural, no side effects. That's the beautiful thing about red light therapy. There's no side effects. There's no medicine. There's nothing like that. And it's great to actually enhance your workouts too. You can really maximize your workouts with 15-minute sessions before and after your workouts. And it's mobile. So you're not tied to some kind of electrical outlet or anything. It's a portable battery. It's rechargeable. So you could be at work if you want, at your desk working, getting a little therapy on your knee, if you want on your shoulder, ankle, anything like that. I mean, that's the beauty, the back, you name it. Or before workouts, or if you have old injuries, old surgeries, man, red light therapy can even help heal scars and make them disappear. It's amazing. The benefits of red light therapy are endless. Go to redrecover.com. Check it out. Check out the video blogs. Even Hayden Hurst, current NFL player, former first-round pick with the Cincinnati Bengals, he uses it to optimize his workouts before and after. Check out his video blogs. Check out all the blogs explaining the different routes, explaining red light therapy. You can learn so much. Use our code Big O. You will get 10% off. Go to redrecover.com. Frankie Fresco says, Mike was wrong about UM coaches. That's right. I read that. Thank you, sir. Josh Allen is the next Elway. Goodell also reversing game from L to W for Buffalo. Wilkins and Ingram given indefinite suspensions. More to follow. There you go. Love it. That would be awesome. Big O, it's coaching. Cristobal needs to get more out of the players, period. I would say that. This is not a good start for Cristobal. And I'm a Cristobal guy, but I got to call things like I see it. And not impressed with what I've seen at all. There was a lot of rah-rah, a lot of talk, and we're going to get back to work and all that, and the results have been absolutely terrible. Big O, have you talked to Omar about his opinion on the Dolphins? No, I have not talked to Omar since he left the program, unfortunately. No, I have not. But he's not following it like he used to. He's not a beat guy anymore. So it's a different ball game for him. Plus, he's, you know, Omar. We love Omar, but he's waffling. He's taking both sides now. So while Tua's doing well, then he'll ride the Tua bandwagon. And then when Tua wasn't playing well, oh, well, he can't throw and he's too short and this and that and all that. You know how it is with Omar. He's going to play both sides. He'll never lose. Tua to blame for all the worldly problems. I agree. Our friends in England are going through a shitstorm right now in their economy, and it is all Tua. Tua's ruined the English economy. Just blame Tua. The DXY is just exploding. And that's because Tua's ruining all the dollars around the world. Japan, China, everything's going down, and Tua's pushing down all those dollars, and they're reinvesting into the U.S. dollar. Boy, the U.S. dollar is exploding, brother. Holy moly. Everybody else around the world says, yeah, now I'm taking out my money. I'm putting it into some bonds. I'm putting it into the U.S. dollar. Good for us, by the way. Karen says, I thought I heard Omar say he was a Tua guy on national television show. I was like, what? Yeah, no, he did. He did say that. I saw one of those interviews. Somebody played it for me, and it was funny. 15K in subscribers. Way to go, Big O. Show it's like you finally smashed the glass to get to a butterfly at Westland Mall, if you know what I mean. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But was it Westland or was it Midway Mall? Midway Mall is the one that had those glass butterflies on the floor where the Orange Julius was. And as a kid, you'd go to Midway Mall and those glass butterflies on the floor, and you know what you'd do? You'd stomp on that butterfly. You wanted to crack that glass every single time, and every time you failed. Isn't that amazing? Every time. All right, let's get ready. Hour number 2. And we're going to start it off with the one and only Alan Poupart in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
Why is Dolphins fans? Time to get insight on your favorite team with your favorite reporter with an Expos hat. Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on a Big O radio show.
There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. He's got the Expos hat on.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling? I
feel good.
Yeah, you better feel good. You better feel good.
It's fun.
Because you haven't covered a good team in over a quarter century. Okay? You better feel good, because this is one of the things I was talking about, Alan. The Wildcat year, deep down inside, you knew that was just a gimmick, and it really wasn't a team that was going to take you. Lamar Jackson, that was cutesy. That was fun. It was great to see Wani climb on Lamar's back and all that.
Ricky Williams.
The Ricky Williams years, they were nice, but you knew you didn't have the QB in the end that you needed in order to get you over the top. You know, the Gase year, the 10-6 year. We've been teased with all these, the Pennington year where he just, with the Wildcat, where he just took care of the football. But then when you got to the playoffs, the Ravens just, 20-3, I think it was.
27-9.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There you go. I knew it was some kind of an ass kicking. And so you had fun in that moment for that stuff, but deep down inside, you knew it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't real. I think you're covering a real team now. I think you're covering a coaching staff that actually could develop into a decent staff. And I think you're covering a front office that definitely knows what the hell they're doing. I mean, look at the Bethel kid that they just picked up. That mofo just makes plays all the time on special teams. You know what I mean? And look, I had some fun with this. If now that Tua looks like he's headed in that direction, the talk of the 2020 draft is dead. Because if Tua's successful, you got Hunt, you got Raekwon, and you got Brandon Jones. That's a monster draft. So if the other guys happen to develop, if Austin Jackson happens to develop and Iggy, then it becomes just an absolutely super draft overall. But, things are changing, and I think you're covering what could be a real team, something that's sustainable, and something that's, long-term. I know it's early to say that, but I just get a better feeling than I have from all the other stuff. And maybe it's because I also believe you have a franchise quarterback too, which you haven't had since Marino.
Yeah, well, let's start with that. If he gets there, yeah, then we can forgive Austin Jackson not panning out. We can forgive Noah being a flop because now he can't even get on the field. He got 2 snaps on special teams yesterday. I'd feel a lot better about this 3-0 start and the Dolphins being able to compete in the playoffs as it stands right now, were it not for the fact that their defense is getting torched. And it's great that they came up with the big plays at the key times against Buffalo yesterday to pull out the win. Doesn't change the fact the Bills had 497 yards of offense. The pass rush is not terribly consistent. So again, I'm with you. I like the coaching staff. Mike McDaniel has impressed the hell out of me so far. And I like what they're doing.
I didn't tell you you're covering a great team. I'm telling you, you're covering the best team that you've had in 25 years because you may have covered better defenses, but you haven't covered a team with better balance overall because of this offense is so superior to anything that's been here since Marino that, the defense is still, hey, one thing that's been consistent, they are an opportunistic defense. They've been like that for a couple of years now, at least. You can say that.
Yeah, but again, if you get to the playoffs, I'm not convinced right now. We're talking right now, 3-0 after the 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm only saying this. I'm not the one who's trying to poo-poo anything, but you're trying to tell me this is the best team Dolphins I've had in 25 years.
Yeah, that you've covered.
If you want to talk balance at this point, I think the 2008 team, even though they had limitations on offense,
that's why
the passing game, I think they were better balanced because they were much better on defense than what this.
No, they're not because the offense will never bail you out. This offense and this defense can bail you out. That's what I'm trying to tell you. In 25 years, you have not covered a Dolphin team that can be bailed out by either side of the ball. It's always been the defense in 25 years. They haven't had an offense that could ever bail them out. Just Ricky running for 1,800 yards? That's not really an offense bailing you out. They've never had the signal caller to run this whole thing. And maybe McDaniel might be the most crafty mind they've had here since Norv. Maybe. I don't know. You've covered it with me.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about everything you just said. Again, well, to me, it's let's hold off a little bit. Your point about McDaniel, I cannot be more impressed with his offensive mind.
It's Norv, right? Since Norv,
it's better than Norv. Better than Norv.
Oh no, it's better than Norv. Yeah, I would agree with that. But since I like Norv's offense. That's why I'm saying. I actually loved what Chan Gailey did with very little talent that other go around. He came here. I thought he was really crafty with very limited talent overall. But you won't agree with me that this is the one team that on both sides of the ball they can bail each other out, and they have already in 3 weeks. You've seen both bail each other out.
Bail each other out. Maybe
4th and 7, 3rd and 22. You fall into a hole of 21 points. The defense goes and
the offense bailing you out.
The offense then gets the scores for you. I mean, that's
Big O. The thing is, can we be honest and both admit that the Dolphins were lucky to win yesterday? Can we admit that?
That happens in the NFL all the time, dude.
I understand that. So my point is that yesterday they got lucky. There wasn't like the offense bailed out the defense or the defense bailed out the offense. And they were a little bit fortunate right now to be sitting at 3-0. So let's not crown them just yet. I think the potential is there for this to be the best team they've had in 25 years. I don't like the way the defense is looking right now. They're surviving on timely plays. And at some point,
so I'm supposed to say because of the tuck rule, well then, the Patriots are lucky they got a title. I mean, shit happens, dude.
Now 1 year, you want to crown them already. I'm telling you, chill out.
I'm not crowning. I did not say crown. I just said, remember, Dolphin football for 25 years has been dog shit.
I know. I've been there. I've covered it.
I'm just saying that this is your most complete team you've covered in 25 years. I haven't seen a Dolphin offense in 25 years that either side of the ball can bail them out. That's all I'm saying. I haven't seen it. And you really can't name it. Why? Because Tua is better than any quarterback they've had for 25 years.
Pennington was just as good in 2008 as Tua is. He just
no! Don't say that.
Dude, he didn't have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and he just had
Pennington was good at
and
taking care of the
Big O. But you have to work with how the offense is functioned and is put together. This offense is put together to be a track meet on the outside and Tua get them the ball. Okay, Chad Pennington's offense in 2008 was built. Let's run the ball, control it with a wildcat, and mix in a pass here and there. And
that pass yesterday. That pass yesterday at 3rd and 22. Pennington can't make that pass. He can't make that pass.
I don't agree. And it was
on.
Dude,
you saw his arm. You saw his arm. He cannot make that pass.
It was a perfect pass. Okay, it was a perfect pass. But if you're going to hit me with he can't make that pass, I'll show you clips on YouTube of passes that are exactly the same. Let's not. Here's the thing that drives me nuts.
Not the guy we had. Not the guy we had. You're talking about the guy that came out of the St.
Marshall. He threw a 55-yard.
Yeah. When he came out, he still had decent arm at that point. But the guy we got,
55-yard dime on a flea flicker to Ted Ginn in the back of the end zone, which is exactly the same. It was a perfect pass. Why does it have to be more than that? And in fact, I will tell you this, furthermore, that wasn't his best pass of the day. His best pass of the day.
Oh no, the one where he got nailed. Yeah, the one he got nailed. The one he got injured on.
No, the touchdown pass to Craycraft.
Oh, that was a beautiful pass too.
That was a big time throw.
That was a big time throw. But I got to tell you, the one he got that he was moving to the side and he had to get it over a defender and then he got nailed. I thought that was an incredible pass, dude, because that's one of those off-balance passes that he's not known for. And go look at that pass again.
I'll look it up.
That's not a pass that you're like, whoa, he got enough mustard on it. It was one of those that you're not used to seeing him throw that kind of pass because he really wasn't what's that called? Like he wasn't really positioned properly. He was off balance when he threw that one. I love that pass. Yeah, the touchdown was beautiful. The touchdown was
that's his best pass of the year, the touchdown to me. And I'm not even sure it's close.
Yeah, that was a hell of a pass. But that other one, I think it goes under the radar. That one was the one where he got nailed.
Oh, I'll have to look. I'll have to look at it because maybe I was focusing. I didn't notice anything special about it.
Yeah, dude, where he had to get around and he was kind of off balance, and I was like surprised because that's not really his throw, and I was like, okay, well that's pretty cool that he was able to do that. Well, by the way, where are you? Are you a card-carrying member of the Tuanon now? Are you with us here? Are you with us as a franchise quarterback now?
I think
Has he gotten there yet? Huh?
Why do we need to make a judgment right now? I'll reserve judgment. No, I'm not there yet.
I'm asking.
No,
that
I'm
meter.
Not,
that meter. It's
like
it's got to get to 100, right? So where's that meter? Is it at 20? Is it at 50? Is it at 70? It's at 80. Where is it? What does Alan Poupart need to see from the legend that is Tua?
To remain legendary. How's that? I'm getting closer. He's really, really playing well. He's impressive. He's impressing the hell out of me. Again, let him see it. Let me see it more consistently when the weather conditions get rough.
Oh, now it's the weather now. Okay, that's the next one. Okay.
No, Big O, I want him to throw ducks all over the place like he did in Tennessee last year. I mean, seriously? Come on now. It's a couple of different factors, Big O. It's not enough. It's never enough for you guys. I'm moving closer and closer. He is impressing the hell out of me. The kid is balling. Okay? If that's not good enough for you, Big O, I don't know what to tell you.
Who's the best QB in the NFL right now?
Lamar Jackson. Right now, Lamar Jackson.
Come on. How can you even say that, dude?
Lamar Jackson.
Are you talking about stats or are you talking about the best QB?
If you're going to say Tua Tagovailoa, I mean, seriously, come on now.
How do you say Lamar Jackson when he lost to Tua? That's just
last I checked, football was a team
Lamar
game.
Jackson peed in his pants. He scored 3 points in the fourth quarter, dude. When they needed him to be a quarterback, he failed.
Says where I love you, my man, but you lose all credibility with me when you start with this crap. Seriously.
What do you mean? He failed. So what you do in 3 quarters? What happened in the fourth quarter, Lamar? That's what I want to know. You scored 3 points.
Put Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Put Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on the Ravens. See what happens. And again,
he'll miss him.
You want to talk about, like, you complained for like 2 years about Tua having nothing around him to work. He's got nothing. He's got nothing but talent and personnel around him, and he is doing what he's supposed to be doing. Okay.
Well, they gave him. He had Hollywood Brown last year, and Hollywood had
the guy can't catch a cold. The guy can't catch a cold. Give me a break, Hollywood Brown, please. Okay?
They wanted to sign him to a long-term contract. He was like, "Nah, I'm not. I don't feel part of the offense here."
Guys, maybe the 25th best wide receiver in the NFL. Are we serious with this?
Well, I'm just telling you, bro. I mean,
if you're the one, by the way, you're the one right now who's completely being like prisoner to the stats. If you want to put Tua at number 1 in the NFL, look at the talent and the offense that he has to work with right now. Okay, and I told you before the season, and he's
Mahomes has great talent and a great offensive coordinator. And when he's number 1, he's number 1. Big deal.
You're going to take Tua over Mahomes right now?
No, I'm not taking Tua over Mahomes right now. But right now, the best quarterback in the NFL is Tua. Number 1 quarterback rating. What's wrong with you?
Oh my God! No, by the way, that's not even accurate because he's number 2. Lamar Jackson has a number 1 passer.
No,
rating.
He's not. Number 1 QBR.
QBR. I'm talking passer rating. That QBR is some made-up ESPN crap. The passer rating. By the way, and even if you're going to go QBR is supposed to factor in like running, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. You're going to tell me that if you factor in running, that Jackson wouldn't lap Tua if he's already ahead of him in passer rating?
No, listen. Of course he can run, but it's really about being a quarterback, and that's something that Lamar still has yet to do. That's why he pees in his pants.
And he's number 1 in passer rating in the NFL.
I'm going QBR is more important right now. That's all I'm saying.
That's fine. That's good. That's good.
All right.
Always go with what supports your argument. That's perfect.
Exactly. That's it. I can't go with quarterback rating. You got to go QBR, bro.
No,
QBR is the most
quarterback rating. I'm going passer rating.
That passer rating stuff. That's passe.
Because
nobody uses passer rating anymore. They use QBR now. They don't use passer rating.
Yeah,
what's wrong with you? What do you drive around with white walls also now too? Come on, come on.
Don't tell anybody. And of course, the Baltimore talent on offense is so much better than what Miami has. So I know it makes what Tua is doing even more incredible. It's never enough to just say Tua is playing lights out. He is completely kicking ass. Every week he's taken more steps towards cementing his place as a future of the franchise. Why is that not enough? Why does it always have to be?
No, for you, that's a hell of a lot of progress already.
Jesus.
You went from noodle arm to now he's making progress.
I never said noodle arm. My God, you're having fun with this, aren't you? That's funny.
Always.
Okay. And I'm too easy. That's my problem. I'm too easy.
You're Canadian. You're good.
Is that what it is? Yes, now you're going to insult my country? Nice.
No, I'm not. You people are so nice, so that's why it's easy to have some fun with you guys because you're such decent human beings. That's the problem with Canadians. You people are too nice, bro. We're the hosers.
That's funny. If that's the worst insult you can throw my way, by all means, go ahead.
So what'd you think of Ken Dorsey?
Damn. Appreciate the passion.
I didn't know he had that in him, by the way.
No, I didn't either. I mean, he was always like very cerebral, very mellow and all that. Damn. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know if he was pissed at the last play or the last sequence. I mean, what killed him is that holding penalty when they had the ball at midfield, when now all of a sudden they need, I don't know, maybe 10 yards to have a shot. And then their backup right tackle, I mean, Agba gets by him like that. And then you just.
Yeah, they made a lot of mistakes. The Bills made a lot of mistakes yesterday.
Yep.
Somebody told me that he doesn't do well in tight games or something like that.
Their record's horrible in tight games.
Wow, I didn't know that. I had no idea. It was like 2-7 or something in games within 6 points or some crap like
1-7,
that.
I think 1-7. I don't know how far back it goes, and then decided by 7, and they're like 37-0 or something. No, but here's the thing. Also, for all the numbers he put up yesterday, Josh Allen played a pretty sloppy game. I mean, he had he put a couple of balls where Dolphin defenders got their hands on him.
Yeah.
That fourth down pass completely didn't set his feet and short hopped it. Then he had
what a noodle arm that guy is. God, I tell you, if Tua did that, bro, that would have been all over television for like 4 days on how much he sucks. Okay, I mean seriously, that's the part that's why I get a little riled up and want to defend the kid so much, because there is this double standard that's just disgusting. Because if he would have done that on a 4th down at the end of a game, oh my God. Okay. Meanwhile, in the last couple of weeks, this guy brings you back from 21. He hits 4th and 7, and yesterday 3rd and 22. I mean, this mofo's got some ice in his veins, dude. And he doesn't get enough credit for that.
He's playing with confidence. And the thing is, and that's like got to have a fine line with this. He can't overdo it, because he got away with one yesterday. And I say that after mentioning that Josh Allen threw a lot of passes.
Yeah, he also and next drop one too. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Well, but it wasn't. If you look at the play, it wasn't as egregious a drop, and he got away with it. There will be games when he won't get away with it, and that's the one thing he's got to clean up.
Bubba, every quarterback does that practically in every game. Just watch every game, and a quarterback will almost throw an interception practically in every game. That happens all the time in the NFL. Let's not make it
a quick slant when you're staring down your receiver and the linebacker jumps it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you something there. Let me ask you something. Did it not cross your mind? Because I know they're telling us it's the back and all that stuff, but did it not cross your mind that maybe he was still a little bit jumbled at that moment, and maybe he was a little bit off at that second when he had to throw that slant, and so maybe he was a ting off, and then that's why. And to credit to Milano, he went off of his coverage to step in, and so Tua did not see that. But maybe Tua wasn't as sharp because his cage was rattled a little bit, even if they don't want to tell us.
I would hate
rattled cages. You know what I mean?
I would hate to. The whole thing was really weird. I would hate to think that they'd put the guy back in if he wasn't.
You know what screwed it all up, right? That I'm sure accidentally, because they probably put it out that he's being checked for head trauma, and maybe they didn't check with the football people before they did that. They kind of maybe assumed, like the rest of us, because you assume like, dude, this is a head injury because he's wobbling and everything. You know what I mean? I had a 2nd-degree concussion. So I know what happened to him happened exactly to me, except it was on a basketball court. I was in the middle of the lane, and some dude that was like 3-4 inches taller than me and another 30 pounds, I went up to block, and we ran into each other, and I lost my balance, and I went backwards, and my head slammed on the concrete. So, and I had a 2nd-degree concussion. I was kind of fuzzy for a couple of days. So, yeah, I know what that's like. And so to me, it was like one of those deals that when I'm looking at it, I'm going, this guy's got a concussion. And so in that slant, I'm wondering, is he still, not fine-tuned there? Did that cross your mind? I'm just wondering, because that's what crossed me.
No, because dude, I mean, it's like that was a play. It was a quick slant to Tyreek. It was 3rd and 2 or something. It was a quick slant to him, and he just there were a lot of plays yesterday. We did a really good job of like looking off defenders. On that one, he didn't. He just stared down the guy. And so, the other issue to me with going back to like when he got hurt is like if he starts wobbling, if his back is what's giving out. I never once saw him like put his hand on his back or something.
No, he did this
or bend down to try to stretch it. That's
dude. He flung a 50-yard pass on a dime. So I guess your core is all right, bro. I mean, come on.
No, yeah, that's
you need your back and your hips for that throw. Come on, dude.
But McDaniel said today he said he's not in a concussion protocol. Oh, you saw it? Okay. So
I saw it. And listen, they have to be telling the truth. Do you know why? It's an independent person.
Correct.
It's a doctor. Mm-hmm. It's his livelihood. It's his reputation that's on the line. So we can say what it looks like, but maybe it was his back that was and it made him feel. It might have been a nerve that made it shoot up to his neck and his head. I don't know, dude. I'm not a doctor, but I do know this. The guy that's there is not hired by the NFLPA or the NFL. It's an independent person, and that's his reputation or her reputation. And so if that person puts them out on the field and they're at risk, that's their profession at risk right there and then. So that person, if they cleared Tua, he must have been fine head-wise. And maybe it was some kind of hey, anybody ever had a back issue with nerves or anything? Brother, that can mess your body up.
It'll stop you walking pretty fast. No, but no, and the other thing too is if you saw his post-game presser, he looked perfectly fine from from a head injury. So no, I have no reason to think that,
and he'll play Thursday. He's a tough son of a bitch. You're not gonna, that kid he wanted to play last year with the ribs and the knuckle. He didn't care. He's as much as you look at him as a small guy or whatever, look at all the things he's been through, and he comes back, dude. Every time.
Can we agree on something, by the way? Can
we agree
on something?
That he's a tough son of a bitch?
No, that Mike McDaniel needs to stop calling quarterback sneaks with him.
Oh, please. Yes. Yes, please. Please. Yes. Yes. I did not like that call either. I hated that call. In fact, I just I don't want him anywhere where there's contact. He doesn't have the body to take on contact. So why do I have to do that? Plus, he's smart enough. And by the way, what'd you sign a fullback for?
Correct.
The hell'd you sign a fullback for, bro? Wasn't Marino going to sneak? He was going to hand it off to Tony Page.
Correct.
The hell are you going to do? I don't want Marino sneaking it. No, and that's Marino, who's a big dude. I don't want Tua sneaking in there either. I get it. Tom Brady has done it 1,000 times.
Also 6'4", 220.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm with you 1,000% on that one. All right. So what do you think happens with that investigation? It goes nowhere pretty much on both sides?
It's a borderline non-story as far as I'm concerned. You're talking about the NFLPA investigation? I think they'll talk to everybody. They'll be like, okay, all cool. You did what you need to do. Okay, all cool. No problem.
Yeah, I just think I think what they're trying to do is kind of like the Celtics. They just want to cover their ass. And hey, nobody can have relationships here because then then when there's lawsuits, it's for us. And I think that's what the NFLPA, the NFL, everybody, I think they just want to cover their ass to make sure that there are no lawsuits coming out of this kind of stuff.
Right? Yeah, and I think the most, I think to me, what could come out of it would be like them telling the Dolphins, listen, before you announce the injury in the press box and all that, just make sure you got it right, because this should have been announced as head/back injury.
Right.
As opposed to just head injury, because then head injury, they will come back from the second half and there's reports, okay, it was actually back injury. Well, they didn't say back injury.
Right. How do you look at Thursday? Because I was trying to break this down last night in the post-game show, and I broke it down in two ways. One, I am really amazed by this team because the last 3 weeks, not only have you won, not only have you taken care of a really difficult stretch, but you've exercised demons along the way. The Patriots, now you've beat them 4 straight times. Now it's the Ravens 2 straight times. The Bills have dominated your ass 7 straight times. Now you finally got over the hump. So emotionally, there's a lot of storylines involved with some of those players and some of those teams with a history. There is no history with the Bengals. And you've made such an effort emotionally and physically to get through these 3 games to be 3-0. I thought they were going to be 3-1 in these 4 games, and the loss being the Bills. Even though I picked yesterday the Dolphins to win because of the circumstances that were there, I really like Miami. But when the season first started, I thought they'd be 3-1. But now I'm looking at it, I'm going, I can understand a letdown now because Cincinnati means nothing to you, But then the flip side is they're so inspired. They're beaten up and everything. And they're going to get 10 days after this. do they find that resolve to go there on short rest on the road and say, this is too good for us to let it go. We got to come out of here 4-0, and then we can, rest for 10 days and heal up. I can see it going either way. You're in that locker room, you're around the guys. What team do you think shows up on Thursday? The team that says, damn, bro, this is going to be tough for us, or the team that finds that emotion from somewhere to go in there and get a victory?
Yeah, the problem is it's not as easy as to say, listen, we're going to muster it up, because I mean I'm past the point of putting anything past this team.
True.
But I mean, it's a tough task. I mean, I told you last week I was a lot more confident about the Buffalo game than I am about the Cincinnati game. It's just a tough ask. It's a really tough ask. And for the defensive players, and even though they're professional and all that, but to play that many snaps in this oven, and then to come back 4 days later,
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Don't know exactly what kind of shape Tua is going to be in. I'm not sure if he plays. He's going to be 100%. Armstead's still dealing with a toe injury, even though he hasn't missed a snap. And then Cincinnati's coming off its first win. They kind of handled the Jets. And Cincinnati's a good team. They were kind of flopping around early on, but they're still a good team. It's a really tough ask. Like I said, I'm not putting it past them, but I think it might be a little much to just say, like, they're gonna find that inspiration once again and refuse to lose and all that.
It's funny. I'm not going to argue with you that Cincinnati's a good team, but would you argue with me if I tell you the Dolphins are a better team, talent-wise and everything, top to bottom?
It's close.
You're not taking Miami's defense over theirs?
I haven't necessarily studied them a whole lot this year. I remember their playoff last year. Their defense was big time.
Yeah, the receiving core is kind of a wash because they are deeper with the three guys that are really good. Yep. Miami has the better two, but they have the better three, and then the tight end part. I don't know. Do I go Gesicki, right? Slide edge.
They're not using him though, or they use him. You do use him, don't use him, use him, don't use him. So,
but I'm going by the talent.
Weapon is better. Yeah, I don't even know what the Bengals.
And running game is not even close. Mixon is 1,000 times better than anything Miami has. I mean, Jesus, he is really good, dude. He's good without a line. I mean, last year they didn't have a line, and that guy got 13 touchdowns and 1,200 yards. That's no joke, dude.
Nope.
Like, that is studly. That's the Ricky Williams shit. And he made that line better than what it really was, because he was just an absolute monster. But it's crazy because Miami is right there. They're not walking in there like, oh, they don't have enough talent. They have enough talent to win that game on Thursday. That's the good thing about that one.
No, I agree. I just think, again, it's not because of talent. It's not because I think Cincinnati is like a much better team. It's just it's a tough ask. Again, because you and Dolphin players may want to poo-poo the Buffalo game all they want, which they had to do before the game, because if you build it up too much and you lose, it's a major letdown. But that was a big game for them to get over that hump, and then to go back 4 days later, it's a really tough ask.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'll be disappointed. I won't be mad if they lose on Thursday. It's so understandable. But man, if they win, it's a pretty special bunch to be able to do something like that.
That would be big time.
Yeah, because all the games that come after that, the next 6, 7, 8 weeks, they're all very winnable games from there on out. I mean, you can really pack your record over the next few weeks, that when it gets hard again, you're super comfortable by then.
I agree.
You only have to win half of the back end of your games, and you're going to have a monster record. Really. I mean, it's crazy how it's set up for them from here on out by winning this game against the Bills. It's pretty impressive. All right. What I was going to ask you one more thing. What's it called? Damn, what was I going to ask you now? Do I have it written down? Oh, yes, one more thing. I don't have it written down, but a very unfair question that you probably will not have an answer to, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Does it look like Byron Jones for sure will be back with the team in week 5? What do you know?
I'd be lying if I said I had.
Okay. Yeah, because I hadn't heard anything. I never know. Maybe you hear something out there that they say, yeah, he looks good. All right, that's it.
Here's what we're gonna. I mean, Mike McDaniel is going to talk Friday after the game, which will be the 4 games, and we will ask him then if it looks like Byron will be ready to start practicing.
Okay. All right.
Good stuff. Nobody's brought it up, and I've seen him out and about at events, or I've seen pictures of him out and about at events, and he looks fine. But then again, I thought he looked fine the times that before.
Let's hope so. All right. What are you working on this short week leading up to the Thursday game at alldolphins.com? Because as you all know out there around the world, you're not really a real Dolphins fan if you don't bookmark alldolphins.com. You've got to be there for the day he writes the article that says Tua officially is a franchise quarterback. That day we will have a major celebration. Correct? What are you working on?
Sounds like a plan. Well, I've already put up 4 things today, including the latest on Tua based on Mike McDaniel's press conference. The injury report is about to come out, and that's going to be based on an estimation since they're not practicing today, but it still gives you some kind of a little idea. And whatever else comes about. I mean, like I said, there's already 4 things on there from today, and I'm expecting at least 2 or 3 more.
Okay. All right. So somebody told me, I don't know if it's true, that you're acting about all this Tua stuff, but behind the scenes, you're kind of creating this monster article. Kind of they do like obituaries, like this famous person, later on in their years, they keep adding the obituaries, saving it. And then when that person dies, they've got it set. I think that's what you do. You're doing like this big old peace celebration of Tua's greatness. And soon you will spring it on us. I think that's what's going to happen. Right?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay. All right. There he is. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. He's fantastic. He is Alan Poupart, and he loves his Montreal Expos, even though they don't exist anymore. Thank you, my brother. We love you.
You'll be good.
Alan Poupart and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is your custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
Firm, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says Tua is number 1 in QBR, number 2 in passer rating, number 2 in yards, number 3 in TDs, number 4 PFF rated QB. I don't know if G Firm, I don't want to use no PFF. They're so, it's such, PFF is just something I don't trust. But thank you, appreciate you, big time. John C chiming in with a little super chat. John C says, was interesting that Bills ended both Haley's runs out of time before the kick. Coaching? Coaching, execution, whatever. It was bad either way, but hey, we'll take it. Look, part of winning any game, John, it's executing. It's making plays. It's not committing stupid penalties. All these kind of things that change the face of a game. And that's part of it. So, when Alan was saying, well, no, he got lucky. I don't like that he got lucky stuff. I don't like that the Dolphins got lucky because I don't want to look at it that way that, oh, okay, no, this was only done out of pure luck. No, they earned it. They made the plays they had to on defense. On offense, they scored just enough. You're going to get breaks in the NFL, but you make your own breaks. And more often than not, the Dolphins don't. And that's why they're never 3-0 in this kind of position. They are now because they got a good team. I'm telling you, this is the best Dolphin team in 25 plus years. In the last quarter century, there isn't a more balanced team than this one right now. Christie's Canyon says, this is funny. Theolin Bills fan said, why does the NFL let these games happen in September? It's absurd to play in 100 degrees heat like this. Yeah. They don't like the heat in Miami, and nobody likes the frigid winters in Green Bay or Buffalo or, any other place that has those kind of elements. That's part of home field advantage. Yeah, so that's hilarious. But again, that's how people are. They come up with the excuses after they lose. Well, when sports, when we want to make a pick, we get a lockdown segment. And ALennyLocksmith.com, and you can call them, by the way, at ALennyLocksmith.com. Go to the website. You can call them if you're anywhere in Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties, even Port St. Lucie, and even Tampa and Orlando and in Phoenix. We give you our picks, our Lenny Lockdown segment. Let's do it right now.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys?
Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Time to lock it down. The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Services in South Florida from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, ALennyLocksmith.com locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Here's the Big O to tell you what needs to be locked down.
855-869-5625. You get locked out of your home. You get locked out of your car. You need spare keys. You need some new locks placed in. You call ALennyLocksmith.com. We gave you the Dolphins yesterday, plus 4.5. Yeah, I had it at 6.5, actually. So I easily won. And they won the game 21-19, so we didn't even need the points, ladies and gentlemen. So that gets us back to 10 over 500 at 38-28-2 against the spread. Our ALennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment tonight, 8:15 ESPN. Giants are favored by 1. The over and under is 39 points in this Cowboys-Giants game. You know, we're technically rooting for the Cowboys because the Giants are 2-0. I don't know if you guys know this, but so far there's only 3 undefeated teams in the NFL. Miami's 3-0, the Eagles are 3-0, and the Giants are 2-0. We need the Giants to lose today, but we need Cooper Rush and the Cowboys to win. This is tough, dude. This is a tough one. And unless there's a ton of turnovers, you know what I'm going to do with this game? I think this is going to be an ugly game, and I'm going to go with the under 39 in this contest. Giants have a pretty good defense. I think they're going to keep this a low-scoring game. Plus, there isn't great quarterback play here. So I think unless there's turnovers, then maybe that's how I can lose this game. But I'm going to go a low-scoring, boring-ass affair, and I'm going under 39, Cowboys and Giants. I'm hoping it's under 39, and I'm hoping that the Cowgirls win. So that way not that the Giants have any shot at running the table, but, as long as we can eliminate these stinking undefeated teams and leave the only team that you and I know deserves to be undefeated every year, which is, of course, our beloved Miami Dolphins. So I'm going to go under 39, Cowboys and Giants in our A. Lenny Locksmith lockdown segment.
The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming. All model cars. 24-hour service. Call them anywhere in South Florida at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at ALennyLocksmith.com, where we lock it down.
So, I just want to say this, okay? A lot of people have had a field day with Tua the last 2 years for no reason at all, and it's been unfair. But I also, along the way, all the people that either were critical of Tua or you wanted this person or that person. Oh, I want Justin Herbert. Oh, no, hey, why don't we trade for Lamar Jackson? Why don't we trade for, Brady? Why don't we trade for Garoppolo? Whatever. I've heard it all, right? And also, one of the things that I've heard were the complaints of Chris Grier, which I'm not hearing too much of. But one of the main complaints with Tua and Grier was the 2020 draft. And so I think it's official now. We need to stop. Those of you out there that are complaining about the 2020 draft, I get it. You couldn't complain about the other drafts because Chris Grier and company have done a great job with all the drafts after that, right? But the 2020 is one that bothers you during his new tenure. Well, guess what? The way Tua's playing now, it looks like you may have found your friend. I think you found a franchise quarterback when you drafted him. But I've never lost any faith in the kid. I just wanted him to get healthy and get some help. So now he's got that, and now he's proving a lot of people wrong. But the 2020 draft with Austin Jackson and Noah Igbenogany, I want to remind you that, Robert Hunt, that plays right guard and was the best lineman last year and has made improvement this year, pancaking fools at times, he's one of the draft picks. Raekwon Davis, good player, growing, getting better. He's one of the draft picks. And Brandon Jones, who's been growing every single time and getting better in coverage. Are you listening, Omar Kelly? Brandon Jones getting better in coverage. Those are the other three picks in that draft. So, yes, if Austin Jackson develops, it adds to it. If Iggy develops, it adds to it. But it doesn't matter anymore. Because in any draft, if you get a Hunt, a Raekwon, a Brandon Jones, and a starting franchise quarterback, you had a great draft. So if Austin Jackson does develop into a player when he comes back, that adds to it. All of a sudden, it just becomes a phenomenal draft. Iggy, I've pretty much given up on Iggy. This was kind of his – I know he'll have one more chance in the offseason next year before training camp. Leading up to the preseason, and that'll be his last go-around. And if he doesn't show anything, he'll be gone. But this year they're keeping him around for the salary, and I get all of that. But Austin, I still have some hope for. But stop complaining. Stop complaining about everything. Just go enjoy. But the 2020 draft, it's over. Stop talking about it. It's a hell of a draft now, is what it is. One hell of a draft is what it's turned out to be. All right, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. Big O Show, do you think that they will sit Teddy and activate Skyler? No, they won't. No, they won't. They'll play Teddy because Teddy's the one that understands defenses at this level. Skyler wasn't playing against any NFL defenses. He was playing against vanilla stuff in preseason and against third stringers and fourth stringers and people that aren't even going to make the teams. Let's see. He's making excuses for Lamar Jackson, who has the kid that ran past our entire secondary and Mark Andrews. And, of course, when Tua didn't have the weapons, they wouldn't accept the excuse. Now he's making the excuse for Lamar. I know. I'm with you. Tua never gets the same breaks as everybody else. And he has Pro Bowl tight end and Mark Andrews. He's always had that. He's had several tight ends. He's always had a running game and an offensive line. But that's all right. And he actually has an offensive coordinator that understands his skill set and designs it perfectly. Orlando isn't and never will be a homer. It's a truth teller that calls it as he sees it. If anything, Orlando is a bit of a rebel by nature. Hashtag Tua time, hashtag fins up. The Mike G played great today, and pass protection for most part was solid, says Eric from Mesquite. Great game. Thank you, sir. And Rolinthia. Thank you out there in Mesquite. Appreciate you guys as always. Enjoyed hanging out with you all out there in Vegas. Big O, congratulations to the real Dolphin fans from Santiago, Dominican Republic. The green lizard is all there for you. Only 3 weeks, and this machine will only get better and better. That's what James says out in the DR. Thank you, James, for chiming in the DR. How about the Bills' winning streak against the Dolphins? Just smashed. Mic drop. And how about that Josh Allen? He should have been kicked out of the game. Tearing off that helmet. Boy, he was frustrated, huh? Even with all the injuries, the Bills had they sure as hell made this game incredibly tough and close. A lot of respect to the Bills, but let's go Dolphins 3-0. Now let's get ready for those Bengals. Hopefully not a lot of players will miss this game. I'm with you. And listen, that was a game that they earned, the Dolphins. And I told people, Vegas still thought the Bills were better by 4.5 points, even with the injuries. And they're a hell of a team. And Josh Allen is a pain in the ass to face, man. Holy crap. RVA Richmond says, hello, brother. Love the show, mainly because you don't speak with a forked tongue like QAM. Thank you. I appreciate you. But they have to do that at QAM, even though I didn't do it when I was at QAM. But that's why I would piss a lot of people off in the building. But it is what it is. Look, they just fired Zaslow on Friday. Poor guy. And it's just, and they're going to fire everybody else. Don't kid yourselves. They have no money. It's just, they don't add anything. They keep subtracting and subtracting. Now they're going to simulcast the whole station on another station. You know what you're supposed to do, right? If you have 2 stations, okay, you make them 2 different stations. And if you want to make them both sports, then go ahead, have different kinds of sports shows going up against each other. So that way you can grab the entire audience. But they're so broke that they can't even hire talent. And then the problem is that they hire talent. Well, they hang on to some talent that produces no money. It's like, it's amazing. And listen, when you listen to a radio show, okay, on local radio, and you're listening to that show for a half hour, an hour, 2 hours, and they have no live spots, that host doesn't have a lifespan. Okay? It's pretty simple. If you're not bringing in money, you're not justifying your existence. If you have no sponsors, you are not justifying your existence. And if you listen to it, you'll get your answers constantly. And it'll tell you what the future holds. And when Joe Rose leaves in February and he walks out the door and a boatload of sponsors walk out the door with him, where do you think that station's going to be? You know? There's almost nothing left. What are they, down to 3 shows now? And they'll eliminate some of those too. And it's just the inevitable. It's what they're doing. They're going to file for bankruptcy. It's just the way it is. It's a bad business. And they don't know how to run it. And they have no cares of running it locally. They want everything national. It's a shame, man. It's a real shame. I feel bad for Zaz. I feel bad for everybody that has lost jobs over the last couple of years. It's a brutal, brutal business, man. You know, what's going on for me and Sean and, we're outliers. We're blessed that we can, stand on our own. But that's just not the case for most people. And it's a tough situation because a lot of people want to they love doing this. If, the people that you see are getting fired. It's don't get into radio. Radio is so dead, it's not even funny. Maybe they might have some pulse. I like Tobin. I love Tobin too. Listen to the show. Listen to the money. Any money coming in? Lifespan. So that'll tell you everything. All you need to do is just listen to the show. And if you don't see them going to a live spot, which I don't think they do, it's really hard to survive in this business because they're not producing any money. And their ratings, they have no ratings. They can't get half a point. And they don't even register on a stream. I mean, it's just like there's nothing there. It's bad. It's really bad. It's a bad, bad business. You're better off, if you can, doing what we do. Because this is the best way to reach people now. This is where we're going. This is where we're at, but not everybody is there yet. It'll take a little bit more, but platforms are where it's at. People don't listen to radio anymore. People don't watch television the same way anymore. It's just not in their DNA. It's not normal anymore. It's too time consuming because there's a lot of dead time in radio. How many commercial breaks have we had since I've been on? One. I told you, hey, I need 30 seconds because I had to drink something. That's it. And I've been on for almost an hour now. No, I'm sorry. Almost 2 hours now. I got on at 3. In 2 hours, I've given you a 30-second commercial that I wasn't on. If not, we went into a segment, a sponsored segment that led into, this is the way you got to do it. See, here's our commercial, Cutter's Edge Pro, while you're watching. That's how you do it. That's where we're at. People want content. They don't want to sit there and listen to a commercial after another one, and 6 minutes, and then a traffic when they've got Waze. They've got it all in their cars. They don't need to hear your stupid sports update. They've got their phones. They all know pretty much what's going on. Move on. Give them talk. Give them the content. Radio doesn't get that. You got people, nothing against those guys, but you got people there on those stations. All they do is repeat segments. That's not new content. That's why you're not streaming a lot, because you don't create more content. It's just a very poorly run business. Very poorly run. Today, I did the half hour this morning. I did 2 hours today. We went to He Camp. We did several interviews, which you'll see on the platform that Sean will put up. Just one day. Yesterday, you had the stuff. The day before, you had, the Dolphin stuff. The day before, you had the stuff. Content, man. It's about content. Are you concerned about Jacksonville improving the AFC? Brian in Illinois. Thank you for the laugh. I appreciate that, Brian. Am I concerned about Jacksonville? I wouldn't be concerned about Jacksonville in anything, sir. Okay? The only thing I'm concerned about with Jacksonville is, can you produce some more Southern rock for me? Outside of that, I'm not concerned about Jacksonville at all. Jacksonville should be more concerned because there might be a storm coming through there. That's about it. But concern Jacksonville? That's good. That's good. That's good. That was entertaining. I love that. Let's see. Irving Figueroa, thank you for the love on the super chat. Fins for the W. Tua is looking the part of a franchise quarterback. Well, that's because he is a franchise quarterback, sir. Frank Stiles, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Very nice of you. Giovanni says, basically, you advertise as they do soccer games. You show the full 90 minutes and don't cut commercials except for halftime and advertise on screen. That's it. We stole it from soccer. You're 1,000% right. Giovanni, do you have time to sit there for me to take a commercial break every 8 or 9 minutes? You want me to do think about this. This is what they do in radio. 8-10-minute segment. Then they go break for 5 or 6 minutes. Who has time for that? That's why you get in your cars now and you go look for your favorite podcast. Oh, I want to hear what Joe Rogan said. Boom. And then you're driving, you're just listening to Joe talk. And no commercial breaks. And maybe Joe talks about a sponsor for a moment, but you stay with it because it's not a commercial break. That's what I do. And I'll tell you about Cutter's Edge Pro, and I'll tell you about landscaping and outdoor lighting and the artificial turf for my dogs. And then I'll tell you, call them 954-472-0622, cuttersedgepro.com. That's how, and you don't go anywhere because I'm not leaving you for 6, 7, 8 minutes with a traffic and a sports update. What? And that's the problem in our business. So what are you going to do? By the way, I got to talk a little bit about this. Let me share it with you here for a second. That was yesterday after the game. The coach addressed the media, addressed his team, and I thought it was a really, really cool scene. And let me play the scene for you. First of all, let me make sure I take away the box here to make sure you're good and you can see the whole thing. Where is it? There we go. Boom, boom, and action.
It just goes to show this is why we don't worry about anything. We've had so many lessons these 2-3 weeks, but like, who's gonna win it for us? Everybody. Everyone's getting the game ball for this. We are 3-0, which was not the goals that we set out, but it's all we can control right now. Okay, so let's get back to work tomorrow, but enjoy it tonight. This was a special one, fellas. They all said you couldn't, and you did.
Hey, quick turnaround. Coach said it. We celebrate this win quick tonight. Our goals are bigger than just beating Bills. You know what I'm saying? We know where we want to go. This was just a step to where we want to go. That's how we compete. Let's go. Fans on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So good. That was it's a good feeling. You just everything about McDaniel, it's like a good vibe, and he's done a great job of reaching his players. And here's the best part that I love about so far in this early process. They've actually faced adversity and overcome it. It's pretty impressive. You know, in the first game, you did enough on offense and the defense was terrific and you got by, and it wasn't, there wasn't so much adversity, right? But then in Baltimore, you fall behind by 21. Now is some big ass adversity. And you got to find a way to dig yourself out of that hole. And you got to find a way to scheme on defense to get the ball back as many times. And on offense, it's precious. The few times you do get it, you better score. And you respond to that adversity. Yesterday, oh my God, a ton of adversity. Josh Allen's moving the ball on you left and right, and then you've got to find a way to make a play to stop him from getting in that end zone, and you do over and over and over and over again. So you're actually thriving in really difficult situations. Very impressive by the Dolphins. Now, if they go on a losing streak, that's another kind of adversity. Hopefully they don't go on a losing streak. They're going to lose a game, but let's not make it a streak. And again, when we cross that bridge, we're going to find out. We're going to find out how he handles it. But he had the Preston Williams adversity, complaining, yada, yada. He put that shit to rest right away. It died right there and then. Did not fester. Oh, hey, you need an extra DB, don't you? You need an extra lineman, don't you need a center? No, we're good. We're good. the guy's been stoic also throughout all of this. There is no panic in him so far, at least from what we've seen. And I think that that's also helped his team too, because it's the same guy that they're dealing with on a consistent basis. The one that frustrates the hell out of players is the coach that changes his attitude day and night from one play to another, from 1 week to another, from one game to another, changing the plan, changing whatever. Those are the coaches that drive players crazy. But if you're even keel and you're consistent like he's been, that's a positive. So I just love everything that I've seen from this man. You know, I've been just so impressed with him. And to me, that's the cool thing. The other one that I wanted to talk about, and I talked a little bit about this with Alan, and can you guys imagine if this happened to Tua? I just want you to look at this, okay? And I think you all saw this, and this is a 4th down. This is the game on the line. And here's big bad arm Josh Allen. Snap. There's Isaiah in the flats. Boom. Let's do it again. Snap. Bam. Now, maybe Allen wanted to go back to his days in baseball where he was throwing grounders. And, you know, maybe a hard grounder that would pop up and you'd got to practice that. You know how it is. Those of you that used to play baseball and they practice all kinds of hard rollers and choppy ones and that kind of stuff. So maybe, you know, he wanted to bring back his little league days when he was playing baseball. But my point is, can you imagine if Tua is the one that does this right here? Right there. Bam. Can you imagine if that was Tua that did that in a key moment in a game? ESPN today would have been loaded with Tua stories. Oh, you see this, that, phony, doesn't have an arm, shouldn't be a franchise quarterback, all that kind of stuff. The double standard, and that's my problem with the whole Tua thing, is the double standard. Because this happens to everybody. Every quarterback. And you saw, I love Poop, but he tried to say, oh, well, you know, he almost intercepted yesterday. That happens all the time. Josh Allen was almost intercepted too. You can watch tonight. I guarantee you tonight, Daniel Jones or Cooper Rush will be either intercepted or almost intercepted. It happens at least once in a game to one of the quarterbacks. Hell, it might happen to both quarterbacks at least one time. In a 17-game schedule now, I bet a starting quarterback has an almost interception happen 10 or 12 times in a season. It's normal. It's normal to short arm a pass. It's normal to overthrow a pass. Not consistently, because then you're not accurate. But accurate quarterbacks, I don't care who you are, you're going to have a bad passer too, man. But I love showing this because I constantly get the people that make it sound like Tua is the only guy that does this. And it's crap. It's crap, brothers. Let's see. Here's the other one. Isn't this nice? Did you guys see this? This is a beautiful thing right here. What a stat. Oh, let me take that out. For you anti-Tua people out there. How about that? So passes over 20 yards long distance passes. In the first half, Tua is 2 of 5 for 49 yards, 0 touchdowns, and interception. In the second half, he is 6 of 7 for 240 yards and 2 touchdowns. He went 3 of 3 for deep balls against the Bills. I mean, he's hit several deep balls this year. It's impressive. Super impressive. What up, Big O from New England? Thank you, sir. Thank you, 6193. What is more likely, a linebacker Milano dropping a pick six or X? But what did I hear more about? Yeah, of course. It's ridiculous. You know, it's just one of those things we have to deal with. Has Allen's arm ever been questioned? Is he known to have a cannon? There's a difference between throwing a short and a weak arm. I cringe when O pretends like it's the same arm talent. Doesn't matter, the same arm talent. So you think it's short on Tua because he can't pass? Or do you think it was just a bad pass? What do you think there? What does make sense to you? Sometimes you don't put the mustard on it. It doesn't matter the size of the quarterback. The bottom line is Josh Allen threw as bad a pass as Tua or Aaron Rodgers or Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or any other quarterback in the NFL, because they're all going to throw bad passes, is my point. It's not a matter of weak arm. So it's not weak by Josh's standards, but it's weak by Tua when he can throw every pass he needs to pass. He doesn't have. Teddy Bridgewater has a weak arm. Ken Dorsey has a weak arm. Tua does not have a weak arm. Did you not see the 50-yard pass yesterday in stride? A couple weeks back, I saw a 62-yard pass right in front of my eyes. I saw a 62-yard pass in camp. It's not, you make it sound that it's weak. It's just a bad pass. That's the narrative that we're talking about. You have created a narrative that does not exist. He does not have a weak arm. He doesn't have a cannon, but he doesn't have a weak arm. He doesn't have a Ty Detmer arm. He doesn't have a Ken Dorsey arm. He doesn't have a Teddy Bridgewater arm. He doesn't have the Chad Pennington arm that we had here at the end of his run. He doesn't have a weak arm. Those are weak arms. Tua's arm is not weak. There lies the exact problem that I've been talking about right there. And that's a perfect example. Oh, so far, what would you say are the weak spots on the team? Maybe, yeah, a middle linebacker, a thumper. They don't have a guy in the middle that can run and knock the crap out of you at the same time. They don't have that. They're definitely lacking that, my friend. Tua really isn't even that short. Watch the end of the Ravens game when Tua hugs Lamar Jackson. Lamar is literally damn near the same height. Nah, I mean, it's not that, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Lamar's not a big quarterback either, by the way. But yeah, Tua's not like, again, it's all narrative. It's all what the storyline they want to create, dude. That's all. Because it's not accurate. Tua's accurate, but those stories are not. Deep passes and accurate. Yep. But he's got a weak arm. You know what's sad, Big O? The national media wanted Tua to be hurt. That's why everybody's complained that he's come back. Well, that or because they need him to get hurt and need him to get out because he's proving them wrong. That's the thing. They can't have him on the field. They'd rather him get hurt and say, well, you see, he's injury prone. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. I said he couldn't play, but he can't stay healthy anyway, so we'll never find out if he can play. That's all. They need him to get hurt. They want him to get hurt. I'll go Jack Nicholson on you. Mike Barnes says, Big O, can we suspend Stephen Ross for the whole season? We play better without him. Thank the Lord. Yes. God, keep that man away from the team. Being accurate is what's most important. Yes, Christopher. Being accurate, ball placement, anticipatory skills, most important thing for a quarterback. As long as you have a strong enough arm, and he has more than a strong enough arm. Obviously, most of us can't play in the NFL because most of us don't have the kind of arm to play in the NFL. We would be weak-armed. Blocking and play design, we are seeing it. It's right in front of our faces. 3-0. That's right, Rob Bud. Hey, Billy Bud. Elena Cahill says, Tua's chip on his shoulders feeds off his haters talk. Don't give him big head or ticky totem tumbles. He's not that guy, Elena. He's not the guy that seeks the glory and the praise and wants to go on social media and look at me. That's not who he is. He's a family guy. That's the good thing about Tua. You're never going to run into that issue. All right, folks, we are out of here. We appreciate you as always. We will post this. Check out the morning show. Also, we got a bunch of Dolphin content that I put in that half hour. You may want to listen to it. I put it up this morning. Didn't talk about any of the stuff here that I talked this morning. You know how it is. We don't repeat content. So there's more stuff there that I talked about in the game yesterday. So if you didn't hear it, go back. It's 25, 30 minutes. It's a short podcast that I put up early in the morning. We'll have more interviews with you from Heat Camp. They'll be on the platform. Please smash the hell out of the like button. It is very important that you smash the like button and subscribe. Subscribe to our other channel too, Big O Show Cuts. Appreciate you all out there. We thank Sean. We thank Chad. We thank all of you out there, as always, for supporting us every single day. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.